Namaste, Jai Gurudev. Now we'll see the further verses, shloka of the first chapter, Shiva Shakti Samaveshan. In 1.6 OV or shloka, Mauli says, हा ठाववरी वियोग भेडे, जे बाळ जगा एवढे, वियाली परीन मोडे दोघुलेपण. In the very present abode, to avoid separation, she delivers a child of the size of universe without disturbing the togetherness. Here Sri Jnanadeva Mauli explains the process of creation of the universe, and he says that this activity of Shakti is very vibrant because Shakti is a vibrant form of Shiva. Shiva Tattva is spread all over in the universe, all over, that covers the universe, and it is the dark matter, what we say. Still the creation takes place within the Shiva. The universe remains tranquil, means nishchal, and goes into a state of dissolution, means pralaya. It gets dissolved, and these processes happen alternately. It is always in a state of transit. It is never it is always transit. Sri Jnanadeva experienced the creation of dissolution and again happening of the universe that is taking place at the mega level, that a common human being cannot see because we are having the constraint of time and space. He says the Shakti has created such a big child of universe and she has delivered it, but she is very much in the universe. She is not away from the universe. When a person experiences being in the 8th chakra, the bondage of time and space gets over, and the person can see various happenings around the world and around the universe. Nowadays scientists have found black holes in the universe and many galaxies getting dissolved in the universe, and so many happenings that Jnanadeva Mauli just explains here, that how it happens. The black matter field all over, that is around our earth also, and that gives a shape to each and every illuminating object that is in the universe. That black matter, because of the dark matter, the object gets a specific shape. When time is a relative aspect here, time on earth we can experience only because of the rotation of earth around the sun, but at the mega level of universe this relativity is dissolved, and because the Shiva and Shakti are inseparable, and this is being experienced at the universal level. In further OV he says, आपुलिये अंगी संसारा देखिलिया चराचरा, परी नेदी तीच तिसरा जोको लागो, ज्या एक सत्तेची बैसने दोघा एका प्रकाशाचे लेणे, जे अनादी एकपणे नांदती दोघे. He says the movable and immovable universe has been created by the Shiva and Shakti, but they do not allow the third person or the third force to peep into. They are established into the apex supremacy, and they are ornamented with the same illumination, and they are eternal. Shiva and Shakti are eternal. Here Sri Jnanadeva puts light on the magnanimity, agelessness, formless, aloofness, and ultimate supremacy of Shiva and Shakti also. The universe remains in an immobile state and self-propelled condition alternately. Whatever is being emerged in the universe is a self-propelled condition, and again the same thing gets dissolved and become immobile, static. This manifestation is omnipresent by default. It is there always. They both, means Shiva and Shakti, has created such a unique supremacy. Nanadev Mauli said that it is omnipotent for the fission as well as for the fusion also. They have the same illumination. Human sensory organs can see, can feel the illuminating part of the universe, of the Shakti, because it is having some light. But here Nanadev Mauli says that both are having prakasha, both are illuminated. The dark matter, we call it as a dark because we cannot see it. Our human eyes or human intellect cannot understand color of that dark matter because we say it is a dark or black matter. But in fact, it is full of illumination that our intellect or our human capacities cannot understand this. At the universal level, the illumination is Shakti and motionless dark matter is Shiva that we have seen. Opposite values are always complementary. Sri Ravi Shankar Gurudev says, see, here dark matter and illumination are opposite to each other, is it not? But they are complementary, and because of that the entire play happening at universe. It is an omnipresent principle of existence that cannot be measured in terms of age or volume. We cannot measure age of any age of the universe. It is Anadi Ananta, means it has no beginning, it has no end. They are beyond the realm of time and space. We have a constraint, or we have a reference or relativity of time, but at the space level there is no time at all. In the 9th and 10th OV, Mauli says, Bhedu lazoni avadi, ekarasi det budi, जो भोगानाया ठाव काढी द्वैताचा जेथे, जेने देवे संपूर्ण देवी, जेने विन काही ना तो गोसावी, किंबहुना एकोपजीवी एकेकांची. Here the Advaita between Shiva and Shakti, Mauli is explaining very well. He says, he explains this beautifully with the humanistic emotions of Shiva and Shakti union to make the supreme wisdom or such a difficult knowledge simple to understand. He says both the Shiva and Shakti hanker for separation, means they want to see each other. Unless and until we get separated, we cannot see another person. If you want to see yourself, you need to stand in front of mirror, then only you can see image of yourself, not yourself. You cannot see yourself, is it not? Similarly, they hanker to see each other, but at the same time with these emotions they get embarrassed, and they again go in their Advaita, again their own rasa. What is their rasa? What is their nature? Rasa means nature. What is their nature? To remain in a Advaita is their original nature. The unanimity is the core value and acts as a epicenter, whereas the various aspects that got popped up on the within the circumference, they are happening, but their Advaita is always present. The centripetal force of attraction that keeps them in a amalgamated state. Both are having a strong centripetal force of attraction, whereas there is always another force acting, that is centrifugal force, that is keeping them away. That's why the Shakti is in illumination form from Shiva. It appears away from Shiva, but she is very much in Shiva. The Shiva is complete with Shakti only. Shiva alone is nothing. Shiva is a static energy. It is a heap of static energy. Any static energy has no value unless and until it is transferred in kinetic form. You see, electricity is available in the grid, in the cables, all over in substation. It is available for us. But unless and until we put any appliances like fan or radio or bulb, anything, we cannot experience the light energy or electricity energy, is it not? Similarly, the Shiva energy which is static and that becomes dynamic in a Shakti, then only we can see the static energy of Shiva. We can feel or we can experience the Shiva energy. We are also part of Shakti. We are also part of Shiva. Dynamic energy evolves through a static form in the beginning, and after completing all the activities, that energy goes back to the static form. Similarly, when we put off the light, that electricity energy goes back in the remains in the grid as a static form. The same is explained here. In the 11th and 12th OV or shloka, Mauli further explains the beauty and the sweetness between the Shiva and Shakti. He says, कैसा मेरू आला गोडिये दोघे न माती जगिये ये की परमाणु ही माझी उवाये मांडली आहाती जिही एका एका विण न कीजे तृणाचेही निर्माण जिये दोघे जीव प्राण जिया दोघ. Here he says, both are in agreement with each other. The couple is in very much understanding. And there is a sweetness in that. They never fight. Both cannot get accommodated in the universe and both are happily getting adjusted in a tiny atom, Parmanu, and residing there blissfully. They do not work independently. They are always working together. Even they do not alone create a blade of grass. Both are very much attached to each other. Here the sweet relationship between Shiva and Shakti is elaborated by Jnanadeva, giving small examples. He says, Shiva and Shakti are very much in agreement and lovingly living in harmony. Both are extremely vast in nature. If you ask any scientist of quantum mechanics or quantum physics, he will say that there is no beginning and there is no end. Human apparatus cannot measure this volume of the energy, that static energy, dark matter. Even we cannot measure how long are the galaxies or how big the elementary in a universe is spread around, and how the black holes act, how many black holes are there. It is beyond the capacity of human intellect. But at the same time, the Shiva and Shakti are residing in each and every atom of any subject, living or non-living. Is it not? They are more magnetic than the universe. This is at a macro level. And at the micro level, they are residing in an atom. In atom, the nucleus is static, that is Shiva. And the electrons revolving around are the moving elements revolving around is a Shakti. They are in dynamic state, always in flux. So, Mauli 725 years ago said that the Shiva and Shakti means static and kinetic energy is very much available in the atom or Paramanu. And he said that they cannot be separated. We cannot separate an atom. When we tried that, a tremendous energy, atomic energy exploded. You know that, and how much is the intensity that we saw for the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bomb explosion. You know, means how much energy can be exploded. But with ordinary processes, we cannot separate the electrons and protons from the atom. So whatever they work together. It is a company. They don't work separately. A very small and insignificant work like creation of a grass blade, a very small grass blade, that also being done together. This means in each and every creation of the universe, both are involved. Any life which is in dormant state is Shiva, and which is in active phase is Shakti. In the next OV or shloka, Mauli says, घरवाते मोटकी दोघे जे गोसावी सेजे रिघे ते दंपत्य पण जागे स्वामिनी जे. जिया दोघा माझी एकादे विपाये उमजे होय निदे तरी घरीवात गिरोनी नुसिधे काही नाके. Here Mauli says, in this home there are only two people living. When the Gosavi means Shiva rests on his bed, his wife takes charge of the home. When either of the both slips into sleep, he gulps the home and does nothing. This is very beautiful aspect of Shiva and Shakti. He further says, दोहो अंगाची आटणी गिवसती आहाती एकेपणी झाली भेदाची वाहनी आधादी जिये विशो एकमेकांची जिये जिये एकमेकांची विषयीये जिये ही दोघे सुखीये जिये दोघे. In the 15th and 16th OV he says, both halves of the body are being shown merged as a one. If there is any differentiation seen, it is for the sake of duality of that half part only. They are inseparable. One is the subject and other is an object for both of them. You got it? One is subject for other and other is also object for the same. They are living for each other and comfortable and happy together. In the 17th OV he says, स्त्री पुरुष नाम भेदे शिवपन एकले नांदे जग सकल आधादे पणे जीही दो दांडी एक श्रुती दोहो फुली एक धृती दोहो दिवी दीप्ती एकची जीवी दो ओठी एक गोठी दो डोळा एक दिठी तेवी दोघी जिन्ही सृष्टी एकची जीवी. For explaining their unique togetherness, he gives further examples that man and woman are only the difference in the name. For the cosmic energy level, there is no gender differentiation. Okay, there resides Shiva Tattva only. There is no masculine or feminine energy. Shiva is only there, and the universe is created in two halves. It is apparent. One sound by two striking sticks. When we strike two sticks, one sound is created. Two flowers but same fragrance. Two lamps giving one gleam. Two lips are saying the same story. Two eyes are seeing the same world. They seem as two in the cosmos but have been amalgamated. Now we'll see their Samaveshan, means their Advaita union. Nandev Mauli says the non-dual nature of two, means that Shiva and Shakti. He says two people are only living in the home, and the master, means Shiva, takes rest, the wife takes charge of the home. Shiva is omnipotent energy and static in nature. The universe is part of Shiva energy or has oozed out of the Shiva energy. The Shiva is taking rest, means after the creation of universe at mega, such a magnanimous level, Shiva takes rest, means he becomes again static. Then what happens? Shakti, the dynamic part of Shiva, takes control and becomes active, means the universe becomes active. Illumination starts, various planets are there, human life, who knows, there is life on other levels also. That is all because of the Shakti has taken charge of the home. All movements and actions taking place in the universe are outcome of this Shakti. The Shakti controls activities on earth and always on other planets also. When we see the dynamic aspects that we are changing all the time, we are seeing changes because of the dynamic nature. The changes are visible and also non-visible to our consciousness and sensory organs. Some are instant, but some are taking trillions of years. See, movement of a planet we can measure in Jyotish also, that in this many years, suppose Jupiter is moving with this speed, that is measurable for human being. But for the galaxies, which are away trillions of light years from Earth. We cannot measure their moment. We cannot measure the happenings there. This is the way the Shakti works at mega level. Both Shiva and Shakti in an awakened state amidst this happening. He further says, if one of them slips into sleep, the Shiva gulps the entire home and sits idle. When the Shakti aspects become very outward and very much dynamic beyond the certain limit, Shiva becomes very self-conscious and he wants to stop the unrest. This creates an uneasiness and he packs it up. Then he says, okay, let's go, pack up. And everything goes back to the stillness. When the Shakti means dynamism overtakes, thus creating an imbalance in the energy level, that part of the universe gets dissolved. That part of universe when goes beyond the energy level, a typical energy level, that goes into the black hole. The dynamic aspect ceases and static energy prevails. In the black hole, the energy is static. There is no dynamism. The state in which no movement happens. Here, the dissolving of the universe in the black hole is indicated. Even the Shiva may become over consolidated, creating a vivid stillness. Then this excessive stillness also creates within the Shiva Tattva an appropriate balance is always being maintained by both of them. Both are very wise and they keep on maintaining a balance so that the show must go on. This continuous balancing of energy is shown in a Ardha Nari Nateshwar figure in our Sanatan Dharma. This shows the perfect balance of masculine and feminine power, and Ardha Nari Nateshwar has no gender. You see, again, there is no gender imbalance in that. The Shiva gulps the home and does nothing, signifying the activation of stillness again. Shiva and Shakti we call as Ardha Nari Nateshwar, half woman, half man. In fact, every part of existence is filled with male and female qualities. Is the existence at our human level. All the qualities are pure qualities but have been divided as feminine and masculine for the sake of understanding and for practical purposes. Here the duality is seen and shown to understand clearly. Even it works at very micro level, and that is how our DNA contains X and Y chromosomes. You know, the entire Shivshakti in the earlier verse also Dyaneshwar Mauli says it acts at the Parmanu, means at atom level. Similarly and the living beings, it acts as at DNA level, X and Y chromosomes, which are labeled as male and female characteristics, they are respectively. The whole existence is a unity of two which cannot be separated. Objective living in the subject for both of them, so they are staying together. There is a bliss in their togetherness. They don't fight like ordinary husband and wife. So they happily remain with each other. Both are living in an impartial way, being non-discriminatory and in an unprejudiced environment. When there is an absence of wants and dates, life turns into a perpetual calmness. When our wants and dates are calmed down, we work only as a seva with a very detached attitude. There is only calmness. There is no fight, or there is no sangharsh, what we call. So both are in an eternal bliss without interfering in each other's domains. Domain of Shakti is dynamic and of Shiva is static. They don't interfere. Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar ji says, just be. True joy is going beyond your identity. Real rest is going beyond your desires. Mature love is feeling the oneness. Relax and just be. Events are transitory. Pick up the wisdom and be free. Visually, there seems a difference as Shiva and Shakti, but actually the Shiva Tattva alone exists. The universe is also alive and divided in half and half. The universe is filled with objects visible and the remaining is the dark matter. In fact, we call universe as a whole, universe illuminated and dark matter. Because of the pressure of the dark matter, the illuminating objects are shaped round like stars. Our earth is round. Why? Because the dark matter puts such a pressure on that the elements remain in a perfect shape. It is a coexistence at mega level. The static and dynamic energy remain in equilibrium and still work together. What we can see and perceive is the Shakti manifestation, and what is omnipresent and just needs understanding is the Shiva Tattva. To understand Shiva Tattva, we need to go at very higher spiritual sadhana. But the Shakti we can understand, we can feel. We are also part of Shakti, and because of that we can see other forms of Shakti. The ultimate balancing at a human level is we need to remain as a self and observe the Shakti. Our self, Jivatma or Atma, what we call it as, is a Shiva. And what is happening, including our body, is a Shakti. So, when we develop such a detached attitude to just see the Shakti, just see our own activities in a detached form as a drishta bhav, then that is a true seeing. And observe the Shakti, and that means the happening around without getting involved into that. Do everything, but with a detached manner. Then it is synonymous to the universal happening. Means what is happening at universal level, the same happening we can understand, we can feel at our level when we go into the drishta bhav. He further gives beautiful example of day-to-day life. When two sticks strike, one sound comes. Is it not? During Navratri we play sticks, one sound comes. There are no two sounds because there are two sticks. No, it doesn't happen. There is a need to have two sticks to create a sound. The Shiva Shakti is having the same energies as two flowers having the same fragrance. See, they are one, so their fragrance is also one. If they are looking like two flowers, but the core characteristics are same, like two lamps giving one gleam. If we put two lamps, but they are giving the same light energy, here the outcome of a union is identical and unique. Here the word unique is very important. When two eyes see the world, they see the same thing at a time. When we see a same thing. We cannot see one thing with one eye and another thing with another eye. It doesn't happen. Shiva and Shakti both are in the cosmos in static and dynamic state, yet they are integrated. There is a stability in presence of their existence in each and every tiny particle. And how it remains so blissfully, we will see in the next session. Namaskar, Ramakrishna Hari.